There we go. That was terrible too. I look terrible. Let me go put a hat on, and the hat looks worse. Fantastic.
Hat. I tried.
So nope, you didn't get away with it. So all right. Well, here we are. Thank you very much for coming on, Alex. I really do appreciate it. Some people know you as Alex Fallon, Skywalker. Had to be before. We'll wait a little bit to see some people poking on and all that. We can run through some introductions or however you want to do it. Just kind of give them a minute, but I really do appreciate it. It's good seeing you. It's been a minute too, right?
God, no, I mean, I haven't seen you since before the hurricane, and luckily I didn't see you during it either. So,
what's going on, Edward? How are you, bud? Thanks for coming on. Top, what's going on? Meant to message you the other day, Top. Congratulations on getting back on the tour. That's awesome. Top's going back on the tattoo tour. He's nice. Yeah, he's getting back to his first love. He's gonna do a free DEO tattoo for me when I'm finally ready to commit to it.
Oh God, so I don't have I can't commit to a tattoo because I changed my mind 5 minutes. It would be like 10 minutes later. I'd be like, nope, change it. I want something different.
Yep. Oh, there we go. Jeff, what's going on, bud? Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I will be running the comments for us. If anybody's have any questions, I will answer with a comment. Of course, Papa can just bring it up on the screen as well. So,
I haven't gotten a tattoo in 13 years. I think it's been is my last tattoo. So maybe I'm due. I don't know. I think once DEO hits 10 years, if DEO makes it to 10 years, I'll get a DEO tattaoo. How about that? We're already at 5, so I mean,
I'll get a fake DEO tattoo. Does that count for something?
Lipstick on
the sponge on. We'll sponge one on. It'll be good because by the time it's faded away, I'll have changed my mind about what I want.
All right, let's see. So we got some folks on. It already is. See, how do you see? That's why you got to bring that up. It was that summer I went down to Tijuana. Whatever. No, that, by the way, close quarter carry CQC. That's Josh Delmonico I was telling you about.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. You're gonna like him. Some of the stuff you'll love. Some of the training that he does. He does a lot of clutch training, things like that. So he's gotten a bunch of guns from us, and he uses them instead of having to use sim training for right up. Oh, CRISPR. Instead of sim rounds at 8 inches doesn't feel good, so he uses airsoft instead. And a lot of the clinch training, they fight for each other's guns. Each guy has a gun. They fight for it, and it's a fight to the death. Whoever gets it and shoots first. So he does that. Does all that training. So it's really cool.
Which is much safer to do with the airsoft guns for sure. When we looked at departments doing training with the company I own, it's the same thing. Like Sims is just they're like just juicy enough to be dangerous.
Right.
Yeah. So saving fingers and eyes and things like that. Plus, you don't have to wear as much safety gear with the airsoft stuff. That's so you're not loaded down with like the big heavy paintball mask with the chest protectors and stuff.
Right. Both your brains combined. Hey, Tucan, can you find me some water squirting smoke grenades?
I don't know.
As a guy who works in pyro, the answer is no. Fire and water don't play nicely together.
I mean, we can get they make paintball paint grenades. It's the closest thing I can think of. But thank you, Tom.
You can get a paint squirting grenade, or you can get a smoke squirting grenade, but you can't get a water squirting and smoke grenade. You know,
We
one or the
have
other.
to
You're not the
For
liquid.
what purpose does it need to smoke and squirt water, Tops?
Good question. That's important.
Yeah,
To
that's
put out the fire the smoke grenade started.
yeah.
Okay, let's see. So, all right, we're 5 minutes in. I guess we can go ahead and get started. I don't want to take too long today, and I really do want to respect. Which I think I really do want to respect your time. Um, I know you were gonna try to stream. I know you got a whole nother one that you're supposed to be talking on.
Don't worry about me. Just double booking streams over here. It's fine.
We'll actually give a shout out to him too. It's because we do, like I said, we appreciate you coming on. For those of you who know, obviously we're going to be talking tonight about Clash of the Titans, happening February 3rd through the 5th. And very specifically, we're also talking about the JTF missions, which are run by Echo 4, and they're headed up by Alex Fallon, aka Skywalker, from Echo 4. So we're gonna turn that over to him, kind of give you guys who had any questions about it, who are thinking about doing it, what exactly the JTF missions are, because they're not run by DEO. They are a completely separate entity that is run by a separate company. Just happens to be at the same time outside of the hours of play for Clash of the Titans. And with that, there you go.
What's up, guys? So I'm gonna start very basic. So some of you may have done one of these before. And for those of you that haven't, I'm gonna scooch.
There we go.
For those of you that haven't, I'm gonna start from the very basic. So JTF missions are essentially us attempting to bridge the gap between airsoft and a realistic training scenario. Obviously, we can't bring live firearms out, and we can't use sims and things like that. So we're going to take airsoft, and we're going to use that in a scenario that we design, talking to buddies of ours who are active duty or who have been through training exercises and things like that, so that we can design you a scenario that feels very real, and we introduce additional aspects and effects and things like that to basically augment the experience, and then we bring it down to a team level. So one of the things that, having gone to a number of events with TCA and AMS and Milsim West and a bunch of these other big organizers, and having done a lot of their side missions and things like that, what we decided on doing is a very small team niche attack or defend. And what we found is really good about that is that all the players get to have a unique experience. They get to learn something from the experience. They all get to do something cool. So as we're going through these missions, we'll have things like blanks. Sometimes we'll have like pyrotechnics and effects and smoke machines, and we have actors that we bring in and makeup artists that we bring in and all kinds of stuff to make it look and feel very real. And I take pride in the fact that when you come out of it, it feels like you got dropped into a movie scene or a video game or a real life scenario. And from that, you're able to walk away feeling like you learned something about how you play. You learn something about how you deal under stress, because a large portion of this is we attempt to amp your stress levels up to 10. Anybody who's done one can tell you that it's a lot of screaming and noise, and we introduce stressors. So the rule of thumb we follow is threes. So we always introduce three stressors, whether that's fatigue, noise, stress from any number of things, pyro, me yelling. Generally speaking, the idea is we want to make you perform at your worst, because that is where you're going to learn something, right? We don't learn anything from mountaintops. So the goal is to make you so stressed that you start to do that kind of basic, fall down to your basic level of training, your basic level of understanding of the game. So as you go to play, as we go through buildings to building, maybe you're clearing a building, trying to get a shooter or something, and all the noise is going off, and there's smoke alarms going off, and flashbangs and everything else. The goal is for you to feel like you were part of a team that went in and did this, and came out and learned something about yourself and learned something about your team. Now, you don't have to be part of a team to do this. You come in solo. We're going to team you up with other people. And generally speaking, sometimes some of the best groups that we put through have been groups of people that did not work with each other before. And one of the things I really enjoy is having people come in on Friday night who've never gone to Milsim before. Maybe they've done this, once or twice, and they haven't done a JTF, and they do a JTF mission, and they tell me how much it helped them during the day on Saturday, because you get the EBGBs out. You learn something about breaching, because all of our JTFs involve something interior. You learn something about working as a team. You learn something about violence of action, and things that allow you to take those forward and use them in your regular airsoft game, but also something about, hey, I can work under stress. Like, I'm okay under stress. I'm not going to die. This isn't, we're not doing this for real. We're not saving lives. Always take a second, take that breath, and then push forward. So
let me
yeah,
jump in real quick. Just to I'm gonna roll back to dumb it down real quick and then turn it back over. Those of you that don't know, the realism factor is such to a point. You will be touched and you will be touching people. Normally at an airsoft event, I like to stress this because game days and my events, no touching. Don't no touching at all. You can touch someone if they agree to allow you to drag them to safety if they're on your team. Other than that, no touching. People tend to get upset. To the contrary, the JTF missions, there's a lot of touching. This is as real can be without it being real. That's the intent, like you said. And so the noises, the flash, the activity, there is no slowing down, there is no timeout. This is absolutely as real as can be. And then again, I stress the idea that there you will be touching, dragging, pushing, pulling, and people will be doing that to you. So your agreement to it means that that's where your mind has to go when you do get involved in this. And to uh, add on to what you said before, absolutely, 100%. You do this. This gets you in the frame of mind for the next day. When you get ready to go out on the field, you have now, uh, you said you got rid of the jitters from breaching, getting through a door. You're not going to stand by the door and push it open and then step back. You're breaching through the door. You're going in. This is going to help you do all those things. So if you're on the fence about whether or not to do it, whether or not it's worth the experience, 1,000% absolutely worth the experience. And it's also not just the experience, but the training factor. And I'm gonna turn it back over. I just wanted to, like I said, I just wanted to kind of dumb it
yeah,
down.
no, you touched on something great. So one of the rules we do change over from regular gameplay, and we go over this when we do our safety briefing, is we do allow the actors, yourselves, as the players, to put hands on each other. Now, you're not fighting. We're not punching each other in the face. We're not sweeping each other's legs out from under them, because we're not actually in combat. We're in a life or death scenario. But we do a lot of people that are down need to be dragged and picked up. People that are combative with you. Let's say you've got a civilian that's combative with you, is trying to draw a handgun that they've got concealed in their waist. You need to get that handgun away from them, and you need to get their hands controlled. And we allow things like zip cuffs and stuff like that. Now, we have a safety factors in place. We have safe words and stuff for if people are pinned in a way that's maybe making it hard for them to breathe, or they feel like their arm is pinned, or dangerous, whatever it is. We run safety words for that. We also have a rule that we don't cuff anyone in back. We always cuff people in front. It's not so they can grab your gear off of you. It's so that if they fall, they can catch themselves. So a lot of safety thought has gone into this, but we allow you guys within the realm of safety and within the realm of airsoft to push that limit and really get to what in theater we call the suspension of disbelief, where you start to feel like it's real. The trick is to get that mind to just click over to feeling like it's real. And I pride myself on the fact that at least one person every JTF mission gets that kind of like 1,000-yard stare. And it brings me a great amount of joy. And don't worry, we talk shit about you back at the camp. So the part of doing these is really bridging that gap between realistic training and what airsoft can provide in a way that is much safer than what you may find at like a military training scenario, where they're using more live rounds, where they're using blanks that are using with like mile systems and things like that. We're trying to bridge that gap in a way that allows airsofters to access that level of training and intensity. And I've always enjoyed doing these. I think Greg's been at a number of events where I've done these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love them. My favorite part is if we can keep up somebody at camp that hears the gunfire in the distance. We've done all kinds of crazy scenarios. Just to give you some ones in the past. So we've done ones where they had to infill and take out an anti-aircraft gun, which allowed them air support. The air support could be called down. They had a C-130. They needed to take out a artillery position that they had to echolocate. So they were looking for the artillery position by sound. We had 105 firing blanks in a field. They had to find it. They got engaged by machine guns on top of a Humvee that had tracer units on the airsoft gun, but it also had propane guns that sound like real fire. So you get fire with the BBs and the blanks, and it all sounds and works together. One of the things I will stress is that people who know me know that I work in effects. I love doing this my whole life. And if you think for an instant that because it's a blank gun, it's not shooting BBs at you too, trust me. Everybody who's armed with a blank gun also has a BB gun, and every blank gun quite possibly has a BB gun strapped to it. So always remember that the way we do this is we're melding those two worlds together. We're taking the training aspect of it and the fear aspect of it and the stress aspect of it, and we're trying to integrate it with the airsoft gameplay. And one other way that we do that, one of our rules is, so if you hit one of my my actors in a leg, in airsoft they're dead. So the way that we breed, kind of make those two work together is they can go down. They can't call out your position. They can't yell out where you are, but they can scream bloody murder. They got hit in their leg. He blew my leg off. This, that, and other, and start trying to crawl away and get back to their buddies and things like that. So
and they absolutely do.
And they
the
absolutely
screams
do
are
that.
as loud as the gunfire, without fail. The screams are as loud as the gunfire, for
Which
sure.
is a good time to remind everyone that ear protection is 100% required for the JTF missions. So whether you're using headphones like these, or using full head protection, or you're using Ear Pro, whatever it is, even if it is just squishies, put them in. You have to have them. We do check them before you go out on mission. It is not an option because it is too intense and too loud to accomplish without ear protection.
That was, I guess there was a little little extra realism thrown in there, thanks to
That sounds
Seb.
about right. Does that sound like Sebastian? Yeah, that sounds like Sebastian to me. I didn't hear about that particular instance, but it doesn't really surprise me, unfortunately. So yeah, I can always have a conversation with Seb about bodily fluids. We don't encourage the transmission of bodily fluids between people during JTF missions. Any bodily fluids.
Not during the JTF missions, at least.
Not during the JTF.
Yeah,
After the JTF mission, you can spit and bleed on whoever you want. I don't care. During the mission, though, yeah, no spitting on people. No bleeding on my AO, please.
Yeah.
So yes,
Ear Pro, definitely. Is it mandatory or a highly recommended?
it's mandatory. So we made it mandatory after we started using, how do I say this? Juicier devices. So, for instance, one of the things we utilize are Hollywood blanks, which are very different from blanks that any of you who have been in the military are used to using. Military blanks kind of sound like a pop. These blanks will deafen you if you don't have your protection on and you're in a building. So they sit around, I think they're 150 dB. And we've also known in the past, although I won't confirm or deny if we're going to be able to get them before this op, I'm going to try. We've used flashbang sims that are 175 dB. So there is no option. You must wear ear protection. That is a level of noise at which you will receive permanent hearing damage if you do not wear ear protection. So it is 100% required.
And you don't have any to supply, correct? You
correct.
Any hearing protection at all? Okay, so
I try to bring a box of squishies, but never count on that. Always bring your own ear protection. I try to bring a box so that we can make sure that people who forget it, because we've all been there, right? We've all forgotten something, a battery for our gun or BBs for whatever.
Yep.
Try to remember your own ear protection. I do try to have a box of squishies with me, but it's not always guaranteed. So, yeah.
And I would not say cigarette butts qualify.
no, 40 millimeter casings also not count. So yeah, it absolutely got to be something that that's actual ear protection and not cotton.
Excellent. So we got. Sorry, I should have popped that up. So this is one of our vendors, Have Airsoft from down in the Miami area. He'll have some hearing protection available for folks when you guys come on out. He's gonna be one of the vendors out there.
Excellent, that's good to hear. So you guys got someone you can get some ear protection from Always recommend ear protection at airsoft ops in general. As someone who's irreparably damaged my hearing multiple times, I highly recommend even a cheap pair of over ears, even Z-Tacs work as communication headsets and a level of hearing protection that is sufficient in airsoft to deal with tag-ins and stuff like that. I know they're advertised as being 125 dB. I can tell you from a power perspective, they are way louder than 125 dB. So wear the ear protection. Over ears are great. They also keep you from getting shot in the ears, so that's great too. Ear protection. I highly recommend head protection, helmets and stuff like that. As someone who's gone to a lot of ops and banged my head into a lot of walls and doors and pipes, and I've fallen and I've come around a corner and banged my head into stuff. It is. I have been rescued from severe injury by helmets more than once.
So you hear that,
Yeah.
y'all? You've been warned. Yefe's showing up. There's no excuse to complain about it being too loud. Not a drop of wiggle room, y'all.
No, and we do check you before you go out, and I'm gonna make sure that you have it because it is something where I don't care about your hearing. What I want to make sure is that you don't get hurt. And that level of noise, especially like the Hollywood blanks and stuff up close, is a level of noise that is excessive. It will hurt. You will have a hearing ache if it doesn't blow your eardrums, and you will have headaches and things like that, and you'll just have a miserable time. It's not fun. You're gonna be deaf, and I'm gonna make fun of you, and it's not good. So please, 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 please remember, we're going to check you. You need to have ear protection, just like you need to have eye protection. And just like regular airsoft game, we require your regular full steel eye protection. We are shooting BBs at you. You are shooting BBs back, so you do need to have eye protection. As far as uniform goes, that should cover that right now while we're here, because I know that's a question that always comes up. You can wear whatever you like. I don't care. The one thing I will say is I recommend at least wearing tactical gear. Having watched even the teams from Evike, the sponsored teams from Evike, light each other up because they thought it'd be cool to wear jeans and our civilians were wearing jeans. I highly recommend wearing something that makes it easy for your team to identify that you are part of them, because it is dark. So we do the JTF missions in the dark. You don't want to get lit up by your own team and have to get rezzed over and over again because they mistake you as a civilian they want to shoot or an enemy combatant.
So I know that there's you guys use like a lot of fake blood and things like that in reference to this. Does anybody have to worry about their uniform getting fake blood on it, and will it stain or anything like that if there's somebody who's just worried about their Gucci gear?
We do if we do use fake blood. I don't think this particular scenario. Oh no, we will have we'll have some fake blood on this one. So we do use fake blood. It is washable. I have yet, knock on wood, to find a fabric it won't come out of.
Okay.
But I would never say never because I just don't believe in that. It does contain dye. It is basically made of corn syrup for all intents and purposes. So it's corn syrup, a little bit of preservatives, and then some food coloring. It tastes like mint, actually, is the one we got on hand right now. But it's, yeah, I know, they flavor them. It's so when you have like vampires on screen, it should taste good, so that way they like want to eat it. It creates an eerie feeling when it comes to like all the stuff. I've made fruit ones. My favorite one's strawberry. Strawberry blood's good.
Thomas Penn,
Like strawberry syrup, basically.
Do
night vision
I
no,
need
so you
night
don't
vision?
actually, and we don't gear these missions to needing night vision. Now we have scenarios we've done in the past, and this scenario too, where night vision will help, but it is certainly not a requirement. We try to light the scenario up as much as possible. We've been in talks with Greg and the facility about whether or not we have 120 volt power so we can provide extra lights and some additional effects that I won't talk about. But the goal is always to make it so that as a person with a white light, you can accomplish the mission. Me and our other team lead for this one, which I believe I have down as Jesse, will be running white lights. We're not running nods. We have done ones where we've run nods in the past, but again, there's no need for nods in order to have fun. You can use a white flashlight and you will be perfectly capable of navigating the AO and having a good time and shooting who you're looking at shooting.
Fantastic. There you go. And no other special requirements other than their gear. They should be running the stuff that they run what they brung. They should have their primary and a secondary with them. All of that. Do you recommend going a little bit lighter on their gear because of the maneuverability they'll be going through, how they'll be moving? Should they dress more like they would?
Trying to think of this scenario in particular. I don't think that there'd be an advantage either way. I think that it is do what's comfortable for you. The one thing I will always warn about is overgearing. So remembering you're going into a scenario that's got this particular one's going to contain civilians and shooters. You're going to have to deal with civilians. You're going to have to deal with active shooters. You're going to have to deal with Kazovac and things like that. So when we're doing those things, they're very physical activities, and keeping in mind that I'm going to make you as sweaty as humanly possible, do not carry a backpack full of stuff. You don't need it. A complement of mags, 4, 5, 6 mags is more than enough. And you're not going to need a gun as much as you need your brain power. So JTF missions are set up like real missions, which is that generally speaking, the military does a lot of shooting, right? But that's not all they're doing. It's not always guns up, gun toe, kill everything that moves. That's how airsoft is, and that's what we try to break away from. So there's TID, there's civilians that are around. If you're wounded, get injured, they have to get drug out. If you have injured civilians you have to deal with, maybe you have to CASVAC someone on stretchers. Maybe you have to handle they had someone they were talking. Someone was asking about Sebastian earlier. They had, if they killed him, they had to move him in a body bag to get him out. So that kind of thing is always a possibility. And if you're wearing full plate carrier, real plates inside, 8 mags, 12 grenades, your backpack on that's got extra BBs and gas and everything else, you're going to be so weighted down that by the end of that hour, sorry, 45 minutes, it really is going to fatigue you. You will be amazed. I mean, I don't know how I get through all of them running the teams. You'll be amazed how fatigued you will be at the end of at these missions. They're 45 minutes long, and I promise that no matter how long you spend out there, if I did my job right, you should come off feeling tired and incredibly sweaty, and that adrenaline should be coming down off a high. So if it's my first time Milsim event, will I be able to hang a JTF mission? Absolutely. In fact, we've had a number of people do JTF missions who had never been to a Milsim event before. My personal favorite was we had somebody who did a JTF mission before they ever played Airsoft ever. And that was hilarious to me. I was like, we're dropping you into the deepest of the deep end. A weekend game will never be the same. So I'm sure we ruined Airsoft for that person. I encourage newer players to do these. I think they're a lot of fun. The best reason I can think to do them is that it is an experience you will not get at a weekend game, period. They do not offer it. It is not something you can do. It's not something within the realm of safety you can accomplish with a large number of people. So it's always something that you can only get at these national events. And I encourage, if you ever go to an AMS game, to do their damn missions if they have them. If you go to a TCA game, do their tier 1 missions if they have them. Always encourage these small missions. They're a ton of fun, and they're also a great experience that you can get at these national level events.
So this, it's always good to see other people chime in who are involved in some other way. This guy, I'm not sure what his name.
Yeah, he's costume. It looks like this guy's name's Cosplay.
Let's call it Cosplay.
Awesome,
Costume
dude.
designer and prop
Glad
builder.
to see you out there. I'll talk to you when we get there. Always looking for costumers. We do. I work in the theater industry, so I've worked in theater my whole life, mainly effects. So I work in pyrotechnics, and always interfacing with those people, costumers, lighting designers, sound designers, pyrotechnic guys, our costume designers. All those people help us accomplish what we do for these missions, and I interface with them even if we don't bring them out to the JTF mission.
Yeah.
I'll interface with them on building props or products or things like that. A lot of the props we use for the JTF missions are actually real props, in the sense of like, let's see if I can grab something that's behind me here. So like, we'll use AT4s like this one that have been rigged to fire blanks. So this is a real AT4, and we've rigged it up to fire 12 gauge black powder blanks. So it looks like it shoots, and then we can rig a charge or something that makes it look real. Get all kinds of rocket launchers and mortars and heavy stuff, and all of it's meant to feel and is real. And so there's a lot of training devices that allow you guys to get a chance to do something cool, feel something cool, play with something cool. And also, everyone's always like, "Oh, I want to shoot mortars." great, awesome. Here's a 120-pound mortar tube. Here's a base, and here's 2 rounds, and they weigh 90 pounds. And all of a sudden, firing mortars doesn't sound like fun anymore.
Right.
So a lot of the goal of this is to make you guys get a chance to do something really neat and unique. And I am an avid collector of dumb shit that I shouldn't spend money on. So, as evidenced by the tank in my garage.
I was gonna say, yeah, the vehicle in the garage right now is yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it's been a good investment, though. I mean, gosh.
It hasn't proved me wrong yet. I haven't felt bad about buying it yet. Don't get me wrong. There's been a lot of bloody knuckles inside of that vehicle, but yeah. 2 years, blood, sweat, and tears, and it drives. So that's worth something.
I would love to see it down at the event this year. I know you're not going to be able to. You're not bringing it down this time, right?
I don't have any plans to. If one day when I go to one of your events where I'm just playing, I'll bring it. I'll drag it down there.
Yeah,
We gotta get some of the trailer. Damn thing's 8,500 pounds. That's a small piece of armor.
My mini will tell
Yeah,
it.
is that it? Yeah. Well, it's like at the very edge of needing a CDL. Like when it comes down to like the size truck you need plus the trailer plus the device. Yeah.
Drive it down, whatever.
Drive it.
Oh yeah, there you go. If it wasn't, dude, I drove a Humvee down. It was down you. Yeah, down. It was 2 hours south. Not so bad. It was an '80s vehicle. This is from the 1950s. I'd more worry about it just like not deciding it wants to be a motor anymore. We'll just Tesla swap the engine. It'd be great.
Yeah, there's
motors and stuff.
Having you come down. This is the first time we've had you do a JTF mission for us. And I mean, this is our first national event. North versus South. The North versus South events, they were big, they were fun, they were great. They were a little bit more on the fun side, as evident of the duel at the beginning at the opening to choose sides.
That was a good icebreaker.
I thought it was fantastic. This one is more of a national level event. A little more seriousness applied. But it.
Gonna start this one with a duel.
I really do. I appreciate you doing it, coming down. It definitely enhances the event. I hope people really take advantage. If we do finish filling up for Friday night, I know we talked about opening tickets up for Saturday night as well. And I mean, if there's those that want to be a part of it, but they won't be able to make it Friday night, please let me know, message me, and we can do that. I just, my fear was setting it up for both nights and then thinning it out so much on one night and the other night that you get, 8 people and 8 people as opposed to, filling it up. So, but anybody, if somebody wants to do it, but they can't get there for Friday night, let me know. We'll open up some Saturday night tickets and we'll get you guys going.
True.
And will you be? I'm trying. I don't recall. Will you be playing the event as well? Are you going to play?
I will not be playing. I'll be adminning with you. I'm going to be working with you on anything you might need, or just boredly shooting fireworks or something. I don't know. Yeah. My intention is to help you during the day. And I mean this with the kindest of hearts. JTFs have ruined airsoft for me. So I do the JTF missions and I run them with you guys, and I know what's going to happen as far as like what the scenario is, but they're different every time. I'm exhausted by the time I run all of them, and during the day I'm just happy to sit back and watch everybody kill each other, and then I go back to doing it at night. So we normally do these when we've done them at the prison. We've done them for Friday and Saturday nights, and it is a full-time job just to get them set up and run and do them smoothly. So when I wake up in the morning, I take that like 2 hours with a wonderful grain of salt and a hot cup of coffee and an MRE. So it is definitely one of those things where like I'm there to help you. That'll be doing. I don't play though because during the day I'm like I'm good. I know myself too. I'll injure myself during the day and then I won't be able to do the JTF stuff and that'll make me hell. So.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you joining, bud. This is to Thomas Penland, and I look forward to seeing you out there. Steve, Tom, Tats, thank you, brother. I really do wish you and the team, or just you by yourself, but I know that doesn't happen. Come on, I wish you guys can make it down. I know it's pretty far for you. Maybe the next one we do, we'll try to have it further up north. I really do wish you could be here for this one, though. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. There's this is Bulldog responding to Tad's telling him to bring it down.
The pinnacle of dignity and decorum. That is correct.
So the bottom line to give a quick summation, I'll let you finish it too, is guys, this is something that you're not going to experience anywhere else. I say that knowing what you do for airsoft. Now there are places where you can go and smoke filled sim rounds, all that. Absolutely, you can do that there. But I'm telling you, most of the guys that are involved in airsoft are never going to go do that. This is the only time you're ever going to get the opportunity to do that as at one of these JTF missions. So really got to get. Please get videos so I can share with my coworkers this. Currently there's videos all over. If you go on YouTube, you look up any of the damn missions from back in the Doomsday days, look up the JTF missions, look any of that up. You can absolutely find it. But I know you record first person video stuff during the JTF.
I try to. I will say this. I think that's the biggest note I get every time. People are like, there's no videos. Like, you guys don't have any footage of all. Like, this is so cool. Why is there no videos? I was like, it's at night and we're all having too much fun doing it to get the footage right.
Right.
Mini Dom came last time with 3 cameras on him, and like the battery died on one, and this one didn't record right, and all kinds of stuff. And I just remember going, that's fun. The experience is for you there in the moment. It's like going to a theme park and videotaping everything, right? It's not as good as being there. I will say one of the best videos out there, if you want to know what a JTF mission is, go online, find Phoenix Feather Airsoft. He filmed the JTF mission with a color night vision camera and a GoPro, and he shows the footage side by side. You really get an impression of how dark it actually is compared to what you're seeing. And they were able to capture what I feel like was a lot of the intensity and what's going on. If you're a first-time player, you've never done one of these, it's a great video to watch and get a real look at how these function. Because a lot of the videos, like me, right, it's the first person. You only get my view. This was a separate photographer in line with a player, getting a lot of footage. Spectacular video of how these function, and one of the only good ones, because a lot of them are like that first person, and it's scary, and it's cool to see that first person, but you miss like everything going around.
Right.
It's just, and it's a lot of bangs and noises and screaming. I will say this: you'll know it's a JTF mission because you're going to hear me screaming in the background. If you want to know which videos are ours, you'll hear my voice at full pitch, yelling and screaming. But if you Google Echo 4 JTF missions on YouTube, you will come up with a ton of videos there. They're very
absolutely.
and they're all the ones that get banned from YouTube.
This is Justin Monaco again from CQC. He's got his psionics set up. He's going to be carrying on his helmet to shoot some first person video as well.
Yes. The psionics are really cool. I've been impressed with them. What they brought out was a Canon night vision camera. It was a DSLR with a $2,000 lens on it. It was, bar none, one of the coolest videos I've ever seen captured in the dark. But the psionics are really impressive for what they can do, especially on a full moon night. I've been really impressed for their price point too. Highly recommend those if anybody's in like of the like digital night vision stuff that's starting to come out for airsofters. That stuff is way better than for the money you're going to spend. You're trying to get all the way up into like the PBS 14 range, where you're spending $4,000 on white phosphorus and stuff.
The bottom line is you can get $40, $50, $60, $70 Amazon night vision cameras. They're absolutely, I mean, no, they're not 4K. They're not, but they're adaptive. They're the same. It's the same technology that's used in backup cameras on cars. You know, it really
exactly.
is.
It's just, it's an ISO. It's a high ISO setting where it's pulling an extra
and
light.
it adapts. The lens opens up and you can see at night. You don't have to spend a lot of money. If you're wanting to do that kind of quality, then go ahead, spend the money. But if you're just wanting to capture some of the night stuff, literally I think it was 110. I thought about carrying them here in the store. The retail's like 110, I think, on them, and they're actually optics for your gun. Cheap, inexpensive. They got an SD card slot for them. The whole thing, hit record, night vision, and they automatically adapt from light to low light. So, I mean, if you really want it, guys, it's there. Don't worry about. You don't have to spend $1,000. It's not necessary. You don't have to go thermal. It's simple.
Thermal will never be cheap. That's the one thing it's never come down in price.
Right.
I think the cheapest thermal stuff I've seen is like $400, and it's like
It's crap.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not good.
it's not that impressive. Yeah, and the nicest thermal stuff I've seen is well in the 5-digit range, and it is
Right.
still not like you still look at it and you go, I know there's better quality out there for $120,000. Yeah, no, but you don't need any of that, dude. A $20 Amazon flashlight. I have done AMS damn missions with a $20 Amazon flashlight duct taped to the front of my AEG. There is no need for night vision at these missions. I just want to stress that there's no. If you don't have it, fine, dude. I sold mine. I had the Gucci L3 tubes with the white phosphorus and stuff. And I'm telling you, I used it so little, and I found it so ineffective for anything except for land navigation that I was like, I'm good. I'm gonna use a bright light. I'm gonna use a $150 stream light that can blow those tubes out of the water.
Oh
I
my
can
god.
cause $4,000 in night vision damage like that. So yeah, highly recommend flashlights.
I just could never legitimize wearing like 2 used cars on my head, like for just to see how they do. You know?
Oh man, I've seen kids trying to rig the like old school night vision like scopes.
Oh,
like binoculars. Yeah, and I'm like, don't do that. You're just gonna hurt your neck. You're not gonna be able to hit anything. You're gonna hit your neck. If you had to like navigate through the darkness and that was all you were doing was like land nav, maybe I guess. But even then, it's so grainy that it's barely worth it.
I'm gonna wanted to share this with you. So I wanted to get your reaction first before we even post the map up. Kind of do a little segue here with you on. You've been to all the Overwatches. You've played at the prison more times than anybody can count. We are. This is our first. The first time in I think it's 4 years that the entire AO has been opened up again. In previous events, NVS and Southern Watch and all that, Doomsday were the last ones to use the entire AO, and then it was closed down to just the prison. So now we've got it open again, and the biggest difference now is one of the biggest differences, noticeable differences, is the what used to be called ISO Camp is now called the Village. Versus that's where it was, and the bear and all that. That entire area. So we've talked about it on previous stream. Okay. We back? Sorry. I popped up, said there was connection.
You're good. You're just kind of bouncing in and out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that is. That's weird. So the
you're losing pixels too. Your computer's just like, yeah, I don't want to be in the stream anymore.
that's really weird. Can you talk a little bit about that? And I'll shut up. Your feelings about us being able to use that area.
Excited. I've played it, like you said, I played it this AO probably more than most people. I wouldn't say anyone, but the only ops that have happened at this particular AO that I haven't gone to are the Southern Watch ones, and there's only been 2 of those. And I went to beta games at this AO before it was public with Doomsday originally. So yeah, I've been to this AO a lot. I know it inside, outward, upside down, backwards, and I was surprised and excited to find out that ISO Camp was being turned into a playable area. So very excited to see that. Thank you for the guys that put that together and have made that a playable section. And I'm excited to see what we can do with it. And I really am looking forward to being back at this AO just because like I think it's a really great AO. It's a big AO. And when used properly can be a lot of fun. There's so much more to it than the main prison complex. And I know some of it's been torn down and remodeled and stuff's been blown up and refixed and all that kind of stuff. But through the years, it's been one of my favorite AOs to play at, especially just driving around and checking it out. It's a really cool little facility. It is such a sprawling prison complex. Usually you think of prisons as these like little, boxes, and it's really not. There's a ton of stuff that they have. I highly encourage during the gameplay find to do. I don't want to speak out of turn here because I don't know exactly what you guys are doing during the day, but I highly encourage of whatever other missions they allow or have outside of the wire of that city to go see and do and fight in these other unique sections, because every area, and we've done JTFs in all of them, every area is unique in its combat, from where the trailer park used to be to the farm to over to the main facility. You've got ISO camp, and you've got, I don't even know what they call the other one, but there was another isolation camp over near where the admin buildings are.
So that's actually gone now, by the way. You're talking about what used to be
Oh,
the
it is.
shoot houses. Yeah, so
Yes.
the shoot houses got torn down, and it's
really?
now like a berm area
Okay.
and all that. Yeah, and
Oh, so like 360 berm, like the one that they had next to it.
yeah, so 360 berm is there. It is still there, but that's not in play. That's all part of the gun range now. So there's a gun club that's down there. So we have
Okay.
from
They have that like 500 yard, 1,000 yard range.
yeah, yeah. So from the right, and if you're facing where the prison is, all the way to the right side of what was ISO camp, again now called the village, all the way to the right far end of that is one edge, all the way over to the airfield. That's the other far edge.
But you know, I still
And
haven't. I have been to this AO a million times. You know where I've never gone? The airfield.
the airfield. We get the airfield in play, and there will be stuff out there for guys to. Oh, Mo, Laz, what's going on, guys? There will be stuff out there. There will be objectives out there. Some, and I don't know if you've heard, some people that are on here haven't heard yet. We're actually giving mobile cover deployment, so they can actually call for airdrop and have cover and concealment dropped for them, and it's movable. So each side gets it's 4 25-foot camo netting along with plywood, so they can set up soft and hard cover to move their way across some of those open fields. That open field that's to the left of the prison, it leads all the way over to where the farmhouse was. That is that field. There's going to be a lot of play in that field, and you're going to have to set up your own cover there. We also have deployable mobile aid stations for each side. So again, people that were upset that they had to walk a mile just to go back and respawn. Not only do we have that, but we do have the roaming. Mo is going to be driving the roaming. So we've got that as well.
If you're interested in seeing the play rules on that, look in our rule set under Logi. It's written out how that will work. Just to tackle that never-ending issue of sometimes the walk back to camp gets a little too immersive. So,
yeah, you really want Milsim until it sit in the Humvee for 5 hours and then get back out of the Humvee, and never go anywhere.
We actually had that conversation. I had it online when I posted how do people feel about leadership and all that. We went through it, and it's for some, it's not for others. Some people want to just be, some people want to be lone survivor for the hour and a half. Some people want to be, they want to be John Wick. They want to be that. They don't want the 48 hours staying up late to make sure their camp doesn't get attacked. So
I love that. That's fun.
Some people just want the action without the breaks.
Some people just want to be a dumb body in a crowd too. I mean, it should be flexible enough for top down. The person that's too into it and the person that's just there because their older brother paid for a ticket. Yeah, for everybody.
No such thing as too into it. I'm camping out on Thursday, and then I'm never coming back. I'm gonna live out there of MREs and dead cats I find.
Oh God.
So let's see. I'm gonna let me share. I'm gonna share the screen. I'm gonna share the map here. I get it. There we go. This is, and to let you talk a little bit about this first, if you want to go over it.
Yep.
Can everybody see the screen right now?
Yep.
Is it big looking out? These are going to be published. They're getting dropped, I think, tonight. So this is one of the maps, and there's our other map, the in play, not in play areas where the vendors are going to be. So for those of you that are looking at it that aren't real familiar with it, does my mouse show up when I do this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So this area here, obviously, this is the prison where people are most familiar with as far as the prison goes. That's this area right here. Right? Did I get that right? Yeah.
Good job, sir.
Right out front. What's that? I'm sorry.
Good job, sir.
Right out front is where all it's vendor row, parking, all that. That's all going to be right out here. There will be parking along the side as well. And then camping. Traditionally, camping has been over ISO Camp, now Village. That's where camping and all of that was. It's still going to be there. But this is the playable area. Anything outside the fence line on either location is not, that's all out of play. Now,
as a quick side note, for those camping on Friday and Saturday night, the ISO camp will be loud. Recommend ear protection for sleeping. And if you have the wherewithal to desire to watch what's going on in there, if you're gonna walk up to the fence lines, wear eye protection, please.
Yes.
Just because you're edging on the side of the AO, right? We don't want to get anybody's eyes hurt.
The upside to it is in this area here. In this area here, it's a double or triple fence.
Yeah. Oh
so,
yeah.
Hopefully nobody's being stupid enough to try to come up. But yeah. So this area here, this is where your JTF mission is going to be taking place.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is where it's one of the places. It's one of the few places that you might see. We'll see.
This area back here, just for everybody, this is all in play as well. All this area going back this way, because there is a rear entrance. So there's an entrance here to the. Let me bring that up. There is actually a gate and an entrance into the prison right over here. There is the Sally Port over here, and then the front entrance right here. This will not be in play, as obviously outside the fence line is not playable here to the front. All back here, there's going to be a line cut through the grass. So nobody's going to, you're not going to kill yourself trying to walk through the grass. But all of this is in play. You can make your way all through this and sneak your way in and through. And this is all it.
Rear entrance, we don't have it marked on here. After this, we're going to update it. Is that rear entrance open during play?
It will be, yes. Yeah, it will be open.
During gameplay, actually, after this, we're going to update this map. There's entrance A, entrance B, and then entrance C. Charlie, after this, Eric Ford, if you're watching, we'll be updating that. So actually, I'll message him now.
I'm gonna jump off real quick, but I will catch you guys later. I gotta go jump on my other game.
Thank you very much. I love you guys. Coming. Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely.
If you guys have any questions about the JTS, please hit up Greg. Let Toucan know, and they'll pass it on to me, or you can hit me up directly, or go on our Echo 4 page. Any of that will get you information. Thank you guys for having me on, and I'll catch you guys soon.
And
high fives.
Yeah, there's the
high five.
You got it. There it is. Yeah. All right, bud. Thank you so much for coming.
No worries, man. I'll catch you soon.
Later.
All right, bring the map back up, sir.
Yes, sir. Stand by.
Yep.
Try that again. There we go.
Yep. All right.
Which one? You want that one?
Yep, that's perfect. So the area open and play, everything between CP Bravo and CP Delta is in play. There you will be reliant on your squad leads to relay information about that. But I had some questions that our brothers and sisters down south at Operation Xmas asked me about in terms of parking and facility maintenance. So if you could zoom in near the parking, vending, right next to Alpha, if you could just zoom in there a little bit more.
Yep.
Okay, so
can't do.
So for those that ask, especially Dade County Milsim, the facility will be mowed. We are really emphasizing with the facility to keep up. Greg had already mentioned that we will have paths mowed. You're here, and I had a question. So parking and vendor. For the parking area, this is also where the RV and camping area is, correct?
Negative. Nope, that is over here.
So For those that, if you see this, had asked, can I set up my RV on the helipad? Long and the short is no, because that is our vendor and staffing area. Yes. So thank you for that. There's two birds with one stone. And guys, again, after this, we will.
We may use it as overflow if we need it. We may use it as overflow.
Okay.
So depending on if we fill up the parking area over here, the camping part here, we may use it as overflow. But for those, this is those that are living there for the 3 days. That's this. You can drop all your stuff and then park over here and like bring your stuff over this way, park over here and play, and then drive back over here if you want.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Again, if we run out of space here, then we will move people over here if need be.
Switch to the other map. All right. So that particular area marked in red, those are the, if I'm not mistaken, the old like condos, right? Or the villas?
That is correct.
Yes. So just to emphasize that, I mean, really the map is pretty self-explanatory. We cannot stress enough, this is 1,200 acres in play. 1,200 acres. If you've not paid attention, you will get lost. I would recommend the buddy system for players. We will have a night game outside of the JTF, most likely occurring in the area that the JTF mission will be in. So those that missed out on the ticket price to play in that amazing immersive experience that you should go to, by the way, it is going to be awesome by the Echo 4 boys. We will potentially be dipping into that in some capacity for you. Really, there's not much else to talk about the map other than this map will be updated. The other page will have a entrance Charlie marked on there. So
yes,
it's going to be a fun event. Do we want to tell the crowd how much we hate each other, or what do you want to do?
Oh, tell Bugs I said hey. No, I mean, listen, this was for that. If anybody's got any questions right now, feel free to ask. You not a lot of time. We got about 3 weeks left, right? Let's see, the 12, 3, 20, just yeah, about 3 weeks left right now, guys. Got to get your tickets in before they, before they run out.
Oh, very important. Yeah, get your tickets. If you have any interest in the event, why not give it a mark the I am interested tab on the Facebook event. And if you are going, by all means, mark on there that you're going to really show us your support. That would really help us out as a crew quite a bit.
Where can people buy tickets? That's
real
easy. Yep. So all of that is available either through our Facebook site. If you go to Facebook site, you look at the page. It's under Dead and Outfitter, Clash of Titans. All the links are there. Go to the website, deadandoutfitters.net. Right on the splash page on our cover page for deadandoutfitters.net, you're gonna see you're gonna see the Clash of Titans image, the logo, right there. Click on that. That will take you to the ticketing page. It's on FreshTix, FreshTix / Clash of the Titans. That's where the tickets are being sold through. That's also where the JTF tickets are being sold. We will be. I'm waiting for final word before I drop anything, whether or not all of the condos are available. I know people have been asking about places to stay. They have them rented as long-term rentals, which is where the problem is right now. They're renting it out to. There's people that come down for long-term training. They've got some of those rented out. If you're looking for the rule set, can be found right on the Dead and Outfitters page, deadandoutfitters.net. It says game rules. More info on location coming to St. James. 1 second, we could talk briefly about some of that, and it won't be St. James City, but we'll talk briefly about some of that. This was really more for just the event. This was an out of scope stream. But yeah, if you guys are looking for anything, there's going to be plenty of vending down there. We got the sponsorship has been through the roof. It's fantastic. I feel so blessed having everything from local to global organizations jump in and sponsor, and having the vendors, having all the different vendors come down between Hefe Airsoft and Black Tiger Airsoft. We're gonna obviously Lori Watson Creations is going to be there. Dead and Outfitters, obviously, we're going to be there on site as well.
I hope they show up.
Right. Yeah. We've got just between the vendors and the sponsorship, it's absolutely been amazing. CQC, I've mentioned them several times. Really, one of the big reasons I mentioned CQC so much, they took care of all the shoot houses for us and built those out. Really, it's I just absolutely blessed for this event. And guys, we're really looking forward to putting this on for you. We want you to have the best experience possible with this. It's not about us, it's about you, and that's really what we're hoping to get out of this. And just a quick teaser, we won't be going back to St. James City. We're actually trying right now. I'm in the works with the realtor. We're trying to be no more than 10 miles off the highway, so we can pull it. Anybody can make it without problems. And we are working on an indoor/outdoor arena.
And to give context, St. James City, the hurricane said no more airsoft for you. We literally lost the field because of the hurricane. Instead of reinvesting in the location to make it playable, we're pocketing the money to invest in a future. We always said those that attended our field, it was a temporary, permanent field, and
permanently temporary,
literally by God's will that came into fruition. So Papa is working. He is getting gray hairs. Cheryl Crosby, he will not cease to speak. He has been working on it. We're all working to bring something more to the community, as always. So it's tough. This event's going to be nice. The future is looking bright.
Yeah, this is going to be an absolutely fantastic. And I saw Holtzclaw just said, he was here for, and it's not about us compared to anybody else. The only comparison I'd like to give in regards to the Southern Watch event, and props to Mir for coming down and having that event.
By all means.
The area that you'll be playing in compared to that, quite literally, is twice the size. Yes, the prison's involved. Of course it is. That's the center of it.
Yeah.
But you're now playing on twice the amount of landmass, 1,200 acres altogether, and adding in additional physical buildings and locations. So even the loading docks are in play, the farmhouse is in play, all the shoot houses are in play. Like all of that is now in play. And each side is going to have access to their own deployable vehicles. If you need to be picked up, dropped off, things like that, you call it up, and it's at your beck and call. Each side gets that. This is really truly going to be an experience for you guys, and we're stealing from big name playbooks. That's really how we got some of the ideas that we have. Doomsday did a great job at having vehicles, so obviously we're taking that. TCA does a great job at allowing for mobile spawn, so we took that and went one step further. A lot of things that we did, we took from other people, and we're doing the best we can for you guys, and hopefully you enjoy it and it makes it better for the next time.
If you compare us to other events, which is absolutely fine, I'm speaking purely for myself, not Papa. Fun. I care about fun. I care about the stories you tell after the event. If it's just as good or more so than other events, Overwatch, Southern Watch, North versus South 3 event, which is our event, fun. It's just fun, community, camaraderie. So compare us, but the intention and goal is fun. Fun.
Absolutely. Anybody has any questions in regards to the event, anything like that, feel free to give us a shout. You can catch us on Facebook, either personally, myself or Toucan, or through the business page, Dead and Outfitted. You can go to the website and ask questions. You can give the store a call and ask questions. Any questions anybody has, please don't hesitate. Give a shout. Happy to answer them. If you got questions about the JTF mission, you want some more information, I know that Skywalker's happy to answer those questions. We'll do all we can to direct you to it. So by all means, feel free, ask away. We're happy to help.
You'll see Papa at Thunderdome in North Carolina the weekend of the 29th. You'll see me this weekend.
Yep. 20th.
Sorry, 20th. You'll see him the 20th at Thunderdome. You'll see me this weekend at Wayne's World by Warzone and the PFC Riley game. So catch us out in the field. This is one of the 2 times you'll ever see Papa having fun ever. So write it down.
Yeah, for those of you, those of you that are actually going to Thunderdome, I look forward to seeing all you guys out there. Dark Horse 6, all you guys.
Yep.
Can't wait to be out there. Chance for me to go out and do something I've been wanting to do in airsoft for at least 5 or 6 years. That's got a chance to play inside a mall. So thank you very much, CRISPR. I appreciate the invite, and I'm super excited to go there. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's it.
And that's all I got. If y'all got nothing else, I got nothing else. You got nothing else. You got nothing else. There we go. All right, y'all. Have a great one. Thank you very much. And till next time.